Welcome back to another Tasmania road trip where we're heading from Launceston to Cradle Mountain and making some epic stops along the way. These include a gorge, a raspberry and cheese farm and the stunning coastal town of Devonport. Then it's check in to our accommodation for the next 2 nights before heading off to meet some of the local legends, the Tasmanian Devils. It's going to be another incredible day, so let's hit the road. Good morning and welcome back to another road trip, starting off here in Launceston. So we've checked out from our hotel, made the 10-minute drive over to our first stop, which is the Cataract Gorge. So this is a natural wonder just minutes away from Launceston's city centre. And one fun fact is that the chairlift, which is right in front of me here, is actually the world's largest single span chairlift. So we're going to try and ride on that. Not too sure how long it's going to take. So there's a little bit of a queue, but just for some more expenses, we had to pay $2 to actually park here. So it's probably one of the first activities where you've had to pay. So do make sure to pay for the parking. Otherwise you might have a hefty fine when you come back from your chairlift. So we've just bought our tickets at the ticket office and you can choose to either to go straight out on the chairlift or do an out and back. So to go straight out for an adult, it is $15 per person, and to do out and back, it is $20. But obviously if you do out and back, you then have to walk the trail again anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk out there to the other side of the chairlift and then get the chairlift back to the station at the start. So this is actually a lot cooler than we were expecting. We thought it'd be just like a lookout and you looked over the gorge, but they seem to have done quite a lot down here. So I'll show you what everything is. So you've got the suspension bridge over there, which we're going to climb over in just a moment to get to the other side of the chairlift, which you can see potentially goes across over there to the other side. There's also a swimming pool down in the centre, which is pretty cool. Looks very blue and clean, so that looks nice to have a swim in. But today isn't the warmest of days, as you can see, with the grey skies. They've also got the basin which is just in behind it too, which looks beautiful with a little bit of wildlife there as well. And then on the other side, they've got the cafe in the background and they've got public toilets and just a couple of places where you can sit and enjoy a picnic. So it is beautiful, this gorge. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to carry on our trail walk, cross over the suspension bridge, and then hopefully we'll get over to the chairlift. So this is a nice and easy trail path around to the other side, and there's loads of little boards with information on the wildlife and all the plants and stuff, so you can learn a little bit more about them as you are walking around. There's also another walk which you can do, which takes about 45 minutes, and that takes you to the power station. We're not going to do that today because we don't have time, but apparently it's really nice and there's loads of information on the power station at the end with a museum. The suspension bridge is just behind me there, so we're going to cross that in just a second, but we're taking a quick short walk up the duck walking path which takes you to that power station, and this gives you an idea of how beautiful the walk is. So you're basically walking alongside the gorge, which looks incredible. There's that suspension bridge over there, and this gorge actually dates back to the Jurassic period. So it's back to when the dinosaurs roamed the land, which is really cool. And it is a beautiful picture. So you definitely got to come up here and see it. So we're now crossing the suspension bridge and it's really cool. Just take a look at this. So there's Beth. And then over to your left-hand side is the gorge with unbelievable views. There's actually someone fishing just down there too, which is really cool. There's a little bit of like a waterfall. And then here is the other side. Absolutely insane. And then the chairlift goes all the way across the gorge over there. Beautiful scenes again. It's just a shame that the weather's a bit grayer today. On our way up to the Alexandra viewpoint and take a look at the wildlife which we have just seen here. So there's a cute little wallaby down there nibbling on some grass or something. And then there's some peacocks on the track just over there. So some pretty cool wildlife around here. So it looks like someone's feeding them some sweet corn. There's some sweet corn down there on the floor, but he's definitely enjoying it as he's one of the biggest wallabies I've seen. And here it is, the Alexandra Lookout. Look at how incredible these views are that you get from up here. There's actually someone swimming down there in the basin, which is a little bit crazy because I bet it is freezing in there right now. But you get some amazing views over the gorge, and there's some amazing looking accommodations up there at the top. I don't know whether you're going to be able to see that on the cameras. It looks quite dark, but they would have incredible views over the gorge during their stay. I'm not too sure what this is, but it kind of looks like a baby wallaby. I don't know whether you'll be able to see that. I'll use one of Beth's phone's footage, but someone will have to let us know down in the comments whether it's a baby wallaby or something else. Now it's time to get the chairlift back to where we started. There's some more wallabies just chilling around underneath the chairlift. So it's a really cool place. Definitely recommend coming, especially if you love the wildlife. And so we've now made it onto the chairlift, and look at how beautiful the views are. They had all the wallabies back there at the start. Air in the air, legs in the air. And there's actually, I don't know if you can see it down there, a little peacock who's managed to make it onto the roof over there. So any peacock experts, can peacocks fly, or has he somehow climbed up onto there? Because I don't know how he's managed that. So we are currently sat on the world's longest single chairlift span, where you get absolutely incredible views of the Cataract Gorge. Look at that. Look at those incredible views. And there's actually a zigzag trail which goes up that side too. So we obviously took the opposite side, where you can see the suspension bridge over there in the distance, the Alexandra suspension bridge. And then you've obviously got the other path which you can go all the way down the other way, or you can go through the centre. But we only got time for that one path today, and I'll let you know how long it took us in total and whether you need more than 1 hour, because we obviously did it quite quickly, but you could probably spend a good few hours, if not all day here, if you wanted to. So we spent exactly 1 hour at this location, and we're now heading off to the next one, which is the raspberry farm, which will take us 40 minutes to get there. So I'll see you there. We're just trying to get out now, and it is actually really busy. So it's lunchtime now. When we arrived at about 10 AM this morning, it wasn't too bad, but now it is packed. Like the car park, there's cars waiting for other people to leave. So do bear that in mind if you want to come here. Try and get here as early as possible so you can get your spot. Okay, so we have now made it to stop number 2, which is the Christmas Hills Raspberry Farm. And it is a Tasmanian icon known for its raspberries, its desserts, its ice cream and its homemade jam. So I can't wait to go inside and give them a try. It has been around for decades, and it is a popular place to stop if you are driving around the north of the state. So basically, if you like sweet treats, this is going to be dangerous for you. But look at how amazing it looks. You can see in the background all of the raspberry plants, but unfortunately it's still grey skies. It has been spitting a little bit today too, but we're going to make our way now over towards the cafe, and where the you can get your food, your ice creams and stuff, and we'll go and get some lunch too, because apparently it's got a pretty good menu. So let's make our way over now. So we've now come inside and we've come to the Raspberry Cafe to grab some lunch. They've got a really nice menu, to be fair, and they've got vegan options too and gluten-free options as well. So that is good news for Beth, as she is vegan. But the food has now arrived. I'll start off with the drinks though. We've got ourselves a simple raspberry, which is a raspberry lemonade, and it tastes delicious. As you can see, I've already had half of it. Really refreshing. And then for food, Beth's got the mushrooms on toast, which is actually on gluten-free bread, and I have got myself the chicken bao buns. I think I've been having bao buns that much that I might actually turn it into a bao bun. But I've noticed that it's got some chilies on the bao bun, so I'm hoping that it's not too spicy, but we'll have to see. Has got a kick, a big kick. Well, they're quite spicy, but they taste delicious. So whilst we're here, we obviously have to go for something which is raspberry themed. So I went for nothing better than the white chocolate and raspberry cheesecake, which looks absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to give it a try. It's a massive slice as well. Obviously I'm sharing with Beth. But here we go. Get a little bit of the cream, bit of the cheesecake, Bit of the raspberry coulis too. Now let's see what this is like. That is some very good cheesecake. Definitely recommend coming here and trying some of this. Next up is the Ashgrove Cheese Dairy Door. So Ashgrove is a family-run business which has been making cheese for generations here in Tasmania. They're especially known for their award-winning cheddar, and everything here is made from Tasmanian milk. It's a great spot to taste some local produce and learn a bit about the state's dairy industry. So let's go take a look inside as it is beginning to rain. Something else to note as well is they do actually do what is called a tasting trail all around the north here. So if you're into your foods and you've just come to try and taste all of the different local produces, you can go and do that too. But let's go head inside to Ashgrove and see what it's all about. So we started off at the information section, telling us all about their story. And this informational centre here has only actually been open for 4 years, but it's been really interesting learning all about the dairy farms and how the dairy industry here in Tasmania makes $1 billion per year. And it's the largest land-based agricultural sector in Tasmania. And you can really see why, because as you're driving around, there are so many cows. But it's also good to know that they do look after the cows and they're able to birth naturally, so it's no like forced births, and that they're all really cute too. So I don't know whether you can actually try and milk one here, so we'll have to see. So there's a really cool section by the cafe too, where you walk through basically the whole of the factory, and we've now made it to the end of the line, which is the nursery. Now look at all of those cheeses. Just racks upon racks of cheese. This is basically heaven for me. So I'm pretty glad that we came here, although I should have had the cheesecake here rather than having cheesecake in the last place. So they've got loads of things which you can buy from here, including all the milks. They've got creams, butter. They also have like these offcuts of cheese, which are a lot cheaper than the others, but basically they just look like they've been mangled up rather than pristine like all of the other cheeses. And then what's quite funny is there was actually a taste of Tassie cheese, which we got from Coles for Christmas Day. So I've actually got a little bit of that left to try on video. So we'll do that a bit later on, so stay tuned for that. But they have just rows and rows of fridges just full of cheese, milk and cream. So it's basically heaven for me right now. So we've grabbed a little bit of the Ashgrove limited edition cheese to try and see what we think of this one. That was good cheese. Definitely looking forward to trying the others later on. So that was really cool to visit and learn a little bit more about the cheese making process and about the story of Ashgrove. So if you do love cheese, this is definitely a stop for you. You can also get loads of things like toasties. The ice cream looked amazing. You can get cheesecakes. It all looked really delicious. We shouldn't have had dessert at the raspberry place and maybe should have had dessert here instead. However, like I said earlier, we had that Ashgrove cheese, which is in the car right now. So we're going to try a bit of that when we get to the accommodation later on, so you can see that a bit later. But now we're going to move on to our next stop, which is Devonport coastal town. Just before we left, we were thinking we've not actually seen any of the cows, and it's quite funny because just as we said that, we saw the massive herd of them up on the hill over there. I don't know how are you going to be able to see that, but they're just being herded, I'm guessing, in to be milked. So that's pretty cool. We've just seen them all coming in. There's hundreds of them though. I didn't think there'd be that many here, but there is a lot. And now we've arrived in Devonport, one of the main coastal cities in Tasmania and a gateway to the island. This is where the Spirit of Tasmania ferries comes in from the mainland, so for a lot of people, this is their first taste of Tassie. It's right on the coast with river views, walking tracks, and plenty of places to grab food before continuing on with your trip. So we've come up to the lighthouse to see what the views are like from up here, and it's actually not too cold either, because usually it's freezing at the lighthouse and it's very windy, but right now it's actually quite warm and there's no breeze really, so that's good. And you can see all of Devonport is down there, so we've just literally driven through it. Then you can obviously stop off and they've got like cafes, restaurants and all the things like most other cities do, so you can go and check that out. But it was a really cool drive, and it's really funny. We've noticed that sort of like sections of the UK, so we drove through Pontypool and Swansea yesterday, so we're going through Wales, and we went through Exeter at one point too. Then whilst we were in Launceston down in Cornwall, we also had Falmouth, which was there, and now we were just driving through Mersey Hospital. There was Sheffield, York roads, there's Formby roads, so it's as if you're driving through all the parts of the UK and different sections. And it's funny because this Mersey area is all obviously by the water like Liverpool is, and it's got loads of docks and stuff too, so it's all very similar to the UK. So if you saw the vlog from the other day on Bruny Island, you could actually go into the lighthouse and up to the top, but it looks like this one you can't. It's just one significant building on the edge of one of the cliffs. So it's really cool because you then get great views out over the sea. Just look at that. Amazing again, but because of the grey skies, it's not quite as impressive as it would be with the blue skies. But it's only a brief stop here as we need to get to the accommodation because we've got the Tassie Devils coming up later on, and we definitely do not want to miss that. So I'm going to head back into the car now, and it's about a 40-minute drive to get us to our accommodation up in Cradle Mountain. And after a 40-minute drive, we've arrived at our accommodation, which is amazing. So I can't wait to show you around. And it's called the Shepherd and Sprout. And it's basically like a shipping container. So I don't know if you can see that there. And the person that owns it literally lives just next door in the house, just around the other side. But let me show you the outside to begin with. So this evening, hopefully we can spend some time by the fire. So they've got their own little fire. We can sit out here too. They've got a barbecue if you want to use the barbie as well. And then you've got views over Cradle Mountain. And because it's quite misty right now, you can't actually see it, but Cradle Mountain will be in the background over there. So hopefully by the time we leave, we will have seen it. But now let me take you inside to the accommodation. So here we go. So as you come in, you've got a little bit of a seating area here with amazing views over Cradle Mountain. Got yourself a TV up here. You got yourself a small fire, which has the mini logs underneath, so you can use that to keep you warm. Then here is the kitchen area. So 2 little bar stools with an island. Then you've got the sinks, you've got a coffee machine, kettle, everything in there. And then they've got welcome Bethan +1. So obviously I'm the +1. You get all this stuff too, teas, hot chocolate, marshmallows, coffee. And in the garden, you can actually go and get yourself some coriander, lettuce, and shallots too, which is really cool. And look at this as well, the fridge. Got bread, butters, you got full cream milk from Ashgrove where we went earlier, so I can't wait to have some of that. Got all the sauces for the barbie later, and then they also give you all of this food as well, which is crazy. So that's the wardrobe there with a mirror. And then if I open this up, look at all this. So you got like noodles and stuff, you got snacks for breakfast, more sauces, all the herbs and spices, and then you got hot chocolate, and what we'll be putting on the fire later, some marshmallows. Absolutely amazing. Then let me take you through to the next section, which is the bathroom. Look at that. This is probably better than a lot of the hotel bathrooms which we stay at. Absolutely beautiful. And then you got the shower just in through there too, and it's got the body wash, the conditioner and everything. So that all comes with the bathroom too. There's all the towels and stuff in behind there. And then let me take you up now the stairs to the bedroom. So a couple of steps up, and here it is. Look at how cute that is at the top. Who keeps, what's it say? Who keeps you awake? Oh, it's just a little quote there on the bed as well over there. A few little photos, and it's got aircon, etc. too. But look at how amazing that accommodation is. It's beautiful. Can't wait to stay here. We're here for the next 2 nights, and I'll let you know how much it all comes to after we've unpacked all our stuff. So it cost us just $288 per night, which is around £144. So it's fairly reasonable, bearing in mind how cute this accommodation is. But now it is time to go meet some of the locals here in Tasmania, and that is the Tasmanian Devils. So it's about a 35-minute drive to get there, and then I'll show you it all once we arrive. And we finally arrived at our final destination, which is Devils at Cradle. And we're going to be doing the after dark feeding tour, but there are all the other things they do there too, which is the day feeding tours, the Joey encounters, and the sunset experience. I can't remember exactly how much it all came to, so I'll let you know. We're putting a little ticker up here for how much it costs for both Beth and I. So that's 2 people. And as you can see, it's not after dark, and that is because we're in the summer months, so it doesn't get dark till late. Also make sure to book in advance as it can sell out. Obviously we're here during Christmas, so that might be the reason why, but now let's go inside and find some devils. So we've just come outside now, waiting for our tour, and we've already seen some devils. So you might be able to see one just over there, sunbathing on the rock, but the tour should start in just a couple of moments.
So we have Western Quolls, Northern... Alrighty guys, so a bit of a mishmash of individuals in here. So we actually have 2 males and 3 females here at the moment. The one we fed before was Sabrina. Sabrina is actually a normal sized female. So we actually do have Siren on my left hand side. She's quite petite, around 6.5 kilos. And then right over there on the meat, the one with the funky haircut, that is the Kraken. And the biggest female we have on the premises, hitting 9.5 kilos. The 2 boys in here are Odin and Zeus. Odin's the one right off the bit of meat right there. We have 2 old females here when it comes to devils. Penelope, who's now off display, and we have Linda. Linda, right in the middle there, she's 6, coming on 7. So there you go, she's an old lady, guys. It's just heated dinner discussion. And if it's serious, I have to separate it. So if you don't see me separating, it's just heated dinner discussion.
That was a really good tour. Definitely recommend coming to do it. Learn loads about the Tasmanian devils, which I'll tell you about in just a second. And you also get free entry into the park for the next 24 hours. So we'll probably come back tomorrow and have a look around again, just have a look at the devils and the quolls too, because they were really cool. And although they look really cute, they are very vicious. So I'll tell you about those guys too. One shocking figure which we were told was that 2 million animals get killed in Tassie on the road every year, which is actually almost 4 times of the Tassie population, which is crazy. But now let me tell you a few other facts about the devils and the quolls. Tasmanian devils are extreme carnivores. They actually eat any kind of meat and have been recorded to consume over 180 different species, including whale carcass. If it's a meat, a devil will eat it. And when it comes to food, devils don't always actually hunt their food. Cats often make the kill, and then the Tasmanian devils move in to steal the meal. Their breeding cycle is just as intense, as Tasmanian devils only breed once a year, and that is during a short season. So on mainland Australia, this happens in January, and in Tasmania, it happens in February. Outside that window, breeding doesn't actually occur. Females give birth to 40 to 60 tiny embryos per year, but only 2 to 4 of them actually survive. So although they're wild, ruthless and fascinating, the Tasmanian devil is built for survival. Next is the spotted tail quoll, which is built for climbing. With a long tail for balance, sharp claws and a flexible body, it's perfectly designed to scale trees and rocky terrains with ease. But don't let their size fool you. These animals are extremely aggressive, and spotted tail quolls are highly territorial. If there are 2 kept in the same enclosure, they can sometimes fight to their death. Agile, powerful and fiercely solitary, the spotted tail quoll is one of Australia's most intense predators. Next up is the eastern quoll, which actually comes in 2 different coloured forms, black and fawn. Despite their cute appearance, these small predators are no pushovers, weighing only about 1.5 kilograms. Eastern quolls rely on speed and precision to hunt. Around 75% of their diet is insects, but when they attack larger prey, they are ruthless, going straight for the neck. Females raise around 6 young, and they fiercely protect them as they grow. They may look adorable, but eastern quolls are vicious hunters in a tiny package. And we are now back into the accommodation, which I absolutely love. And I've poured myself a cider. Beth's got some cider too, and she's just doing the cooking in the background whilst I am doing some video editing. So I'll show you the food once it is done. For food, we have got ourselves some Mexican rice, which was actually made by Chef Beth, and it tastes delicious. So we're going to enjoy that now, but it'll be going dark very soon. So I'm going to end the vlog here, as we've not got anything else really going on apart from heading off to bed. So I do hope you all enjoyed this one. And if you did, please do make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new and want to keep up to our daily vlogs whilst we are here in Tasmania. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. And did you know that 70% of you who are watching right now are not actually subscribed? So just hitting that subscribe button means 1 extra subscriber, and it makes me even happier. So I would appreciate it if you did. So tomorrow we're going to be heading all the way around Cradle Mountain, doing a few different treks, and then possibly seeing the Tasmanian devils again later on. So hopefully that should be a really fun vlog tomorrow too. So I'll see you all there.